letters.
Letters in the alphabet.
Oh, did I know that you were so smart? No way. You're so
Hey, Chris.
Thank you. Actually, do you have a tassel?
Okay, I'll explain the procession in a second. Out of here in 2 rows. Okay? The first the end sections. The end sections have empty. When we get into the raw sport, when the time comes to receive your diploma,
I wouldn't know what to do. Just hold it.
Are we that way after that? That way after we were on the right.
Oh my God. Change my glass out of my ear. Were you part of the 6 o'clock in the morning? He's got the best ability.
Did you fall down these stairs? Oh my God. What are you guys? I overslept. I know. It was second half.
Hey Mary, where's the race?
I was trying to practice my half game.
Don't lose me, John.
Hey, Marcus.
Por ahí viene Mario.
yeah, you should do cartwheels or something.
Wow, this is going to take a long time.
Great deal of pleasure in announcing the first order of business, and that is to call upon Troy Brown, Business Administration Major, to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were some gallantly streaming and the home of the brave.
And of all people with differences to be respected and allowed to develop and flourish, St. Michael's College is honored to award you, I, King Jordan, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Dr. James P. Connolly. Indeed, have the pleasure to introduce Deirdre Ann Whitman, who will offer a farewell address on behalf of the class of 1992.
Today is not only a celebration for the members of the senior class, it is also a day, among many days, to express a sincere appreciation to certain select women who are with us this morning. Happy Mother's Day to you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day to you all. I have to be honest. About 5 weeks ago, I came home from my 9:30 class, the Psychology of Learning, to find a phone message on our kitchen table. I will never forget the sight of my roommate Mary's red penmanship on the small piece of light blue paper. For this was no ordinary phone message. As a matter of fact, it is the last kind of phone message that any senior wants to receive 5 weeks before commencement. My eye caught the only word I needed to see on this piece of paper: registrar. I just stood there, unable to move a single muscle. The only thing I could think of was, what if Maureen McNamara had decided to recount my credits? I have never felt my stomach drop like it did that morning. To my surprise, honor, and sincere appreciation, the phone call was in regards to representing you, the graduating class of 1992, at this joyous and well-deserved celebration. On Saturday, September 5th, 1988, more than 400 anxious students, more than 400 comforters, more than 400 alarm clocks, along with heavy boxes, and in my case, green plastic trash bags, ventured for the first time up the staircases of Lyons and Joyce Hall. Around 3:45, a flock of unfamiliar faces hesitantly moved their way out of Lyons Hall towards the chapel of St. Michael's the Archangel. I felt lonely, scared, and was suddenly not so sold on the idea of leaving Dalton, Massachusetts. As an 18-year-old young woman, what was up with that? My grandfather and I walked arm in arm as I made my first journey to the chapel. Tears fell, and they fell. Enough tears, as we both recall, that I could have named a river, Orientation 1988. Ironically, tears fell from these same eyes yesterday on the pathway of my last journey to the chapel for baccalaureate mass. I thought of my grandfather. I thought of the feelings that I experienced on that sunny September afternoon a while ago. And you know, some really wonderful things have happened between my first walk to the chapel and my last one. The tears yesterday were ones of an incredible sense of accomplishment. Tears of pride, because my experience at St. Michael's has been an experience of quality. If we together have learned anything in the past 4 years, we have learned more about ourselves. I am proud that St. Michael's has helped me to come to the realization that intellectual, emotional, and spiritual development is of an incredible value. I have realized how necessary it is to reflect on particular questions. Questions such as, what is important to me? What is it that I value? Did these beliefs and attitudes find their way into the realities of my life? These lifelong questions help to develop the core of who a person is. I have found that the harder you work to realize your strengths and weaknesses, the stronger this core becomes. Through my experiences at St. Michael's, I have realized some of the qualities that make up this core. Some of these qualities I like. Some of these qualities I don't. And I'm faced with a challenge to change them. At St. Michael's College, I've learned the importance of being sensitive to people's needs. It is our responsibility to unlearn these things that we have been carefully taught. We have the responsibility and the challenge to fight years and years of ignorance and acceptance. Members of our community challenged us this past spring with the issue of racism. These certain individuals, lacking the realization that each person has a God-given dignity, hurt many people with their ignorance. I have learned a few important lessons through this challenge. First of all, we see that members of St. Michael's College can walk through huge teachable moments and embrace them. Goodbye.
The valedictorian for this commencement is a political science major who had a general cumulative average of 3.965. A student who came to us from Bend, Oregon, Aaron Henson.
The recipient of the Catherine Fairbanks Memorial Award must have maintained a high level of academic achievement over 4 years and demonstrated commitment to the intellectual, social, and moral values of St. Michael's College. This year's recipient is a cum laude graduate, member of the Student Association, volunteer in MOVE projects, member of the orientation staff, double major in education and political science, campus programming board member, representative to the Board of Trustees Honors Committee, office manager in the Office of Freshman Development, participant and presenter on pre-orientation weekends, participant in the Discover Leadership weekends, served an internship in the St. Albans Correctional Center, and had time to be the 1992 class president for the past 3 years. As this impressive list confirms, Amy Biggie has coupled must have maintained a high level of academic achievement over the 4 years and demonstrated a commitment to the intellectual, social, and moral values of St. Michael's. And this year's recipient is a cum laude graduate, a biology major, a member of the Science Club, presenter on pre-orientation weekends, participant in the Little Brother, Little Sister program, participant in Habitat for Humanity, counselor at the Child Care Center Day Camp, member of the residential life staff for 3 years, and co-captain of the hockey team. This individual has combined a challenging academic career with numerous contributions to the community. Jeffrey Rouleau.
Mentioned, as president of St. Michael's College, I will have the distinct honor and privilege of presenting to today's graduates the diplomas which signify academic achievement, a successful experience of learning and of personal development. Our graduates, those receiving bachelor's degrees and those receiving master's degrees, have participated in the strong and valuable academic tradition of St. Michael's College. This ceremony, while honoring our graduates, also constitutes a celebration of that tradition. The academic tradition initiated by the Edmondites in 1904 is one that focuses on student learning and development. It is therefore a tradition of quality teaching, of dedicated teachers, teachers who are themselves scholars and who invite their students into their world of scholarship. With us today to honor their students are members of that dedicated group of scholar teachers who, in their efforts at St. Michael's, carry on that academic tradition. With us also are members of the staff of the college, who very clearly also participate in the teaching and development of students. As not just a symbol, but now also a participant in the St. Michael's tradition, Dr. I. King Jordan.
Father Hart, Mr. Brown, Miss Whitman, graduating seniors, faculty, staff, platform, and honored guests. Thank you for the privilege of coming to speak today, but before I speak, please indulge me for a moment and let me wish my wife Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the other mothers in the audience as well. In the last few years, I've traveled a lot and visited many places. I've spoken to many different groups. But I've been a member of an academic community for more than 25 years and a teacher for many of those 25 years. So I'm always most comfortable when I'm in a college community. I'm much more comfortable speaking to students. I think you'll understand that I've sat where you're sitting today. So I'm pretty sure I understand what's going on in your mind. And you're really excited to be finished. Well, almost finished. There's one more step, one thing between you and that diploma. And unfortunately, that one thing is me. I know that commencement speakers sometimes infringe on the ceremony, sometimes belabor the obvious. We tend to talk a great deal about the fact that today is a commencement, a beginning, that it's not an end, but that you're moving from one phase to another phase in your life, and that now you're taking your place among a group of educated people, educated elite even, and you can make the world a better place. But you hear that, and we say it so often, that it maybe starts to lose meaning. It should not. It's true. It's important. Those words, even though they're said often, are true. If the faculty and staff here have done their job well, then you have acquired the skills, the knowledge, and the confidence you need to succeed and be happy in an ever more complex world. You have learned to value the perspectives and richness of other cultures. You've learned how they can add to your lives. You've learned to become technologically expert. You understand that all knowledge and disciplines interrelate, and that the art of living and the art of learning are inextricably intertwined. You have had the opportunity to examine your values and beliefs in a spirit of inquiry. You're ready to adapt to the constantly changing world, and you will encounter a constantly changing world. Perhaps most critical, you have learned how much we don't know, and you've learned to become committed to a life of continuing learning and exploration. As college graduates, you're members of that very small group of young people in the world today, empowered by your education and your technical training to deal with the future that is no longer certain. You're among the very few prepared to understand that we are no longer a planet of nations who can afford to be separate, but we've truly become a global village. You are among the few who have the means to make a difference in the lives of other people. I recently finished reading a book by Mary Catherine Bateson called Composing a Life. She uses a metaphor that I find compelling. She talks of life as an improvisatory art, and she points out that fluidity and discontinuity are central to the reality in which we live. It's difficult to be ready to respond with flexibility and grace to the constantly changing future. Not too long ago, a person entering the workforce in this country could expect to hold the same job for the rest of his life. Now, we watch as steel mills close, as companies in every sector scale down, and as entire industries disappear. At the same time, we see new technologies create whole new professions. In the same way, until recently in other places, individuals could expect to live out their entire lives without knowing about events going on in other parts of the world, without having the rhythms of thousands of years their culture interrupted. Now, with the advent of television and instant communication, news of how other people have chosen to live their lives is influencing the hopes and dreams of even the most remote cultures. The rate of change we're experiencing is remarkable. 25 years ago, computers were huge machines into which data was fed on punch cards by experts. Today, computers have changed every expert of our lives. Personal computers have made us the experts and radically altered the way we interact with the printed word and with data and communication. The recent PBS series called The Machine That Changed the World compared the impact of computers on history to the impact of the printed word. I agree. We all know that the next 25 years will bring changes and challenges that we cannot now begin to foresee. Your children will come into the world in a time vastly different than our own. For cancer, for example, they don't understand that one person who cares and is committed, that person makes a difference. A teacher in a classroom who helps one youngster succeed makes an important difference. A volunteer in a soup kitchen makes a change with zest instead of resistance. That you choose to seek common ground with those with whom you differ. And that you choose to act on your beliefs instead of allowing others to define what you do.
Presenting the candidates for degrees in course will be Dr. Susan Summerfield, Dean of the Undergraduate College.
Bachelor of Arts. Requirements completed as of May 1992. Cum laude, history. Catarco Aiko, cum laude, economics. Julie Louise Alexander, magna cum laude, fine arts. Sarah Halsey Arthur, American Studies. Thomas Scott Ambrose, English.